Okay, it's starting to get real.
I'm starting to panic.
I'm having the Braxton Hicks. I'm someone who once shit themselves as a kid. I know that moment. Holy shit, this is actually gonna happen. I'm gonna shit myself.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's episode.
Hey now, don't dream it's over. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's episode. Coming at you wacky on a Wednesday. I'm gonna be honest, recording this on a Tuesday. I am probably knee deep in some catfish pussy. I need to clarify. I'm just gonna be fishing for catfish probably when this comes out, okay? Listen, I am well on my way of starting an Austin comedy fishing club, okay? All my wildest dreams are coming true. I get myself one power bait sponsor and the stage never seeing me again. Okay. When I start saying this podcast is sponsored by earthworms, just know I made it. Okay. That would be the dream. I think that would be every guy's dream. Listen, if you haven't been to the podcast before, welcome. Okay. Your first time, stick around. Maybe I'll say something that makes you go, maybe not though. Okay. But it's worth a shot. What's the worst that happens? Okay. We just never see each other again. Stick around. You might enjoy something. Probably not though. I barely like myself. That's why I do comedy. Okay. That's why I go on stage at night and seek the adoration of strangers to fill a void inside myself. Okay. It's not so cool once you break it down, huh? All a bunch of sad clowns. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Like the video, subscribe, comment, whatever you cool cats and kittens do. I'm becoming a cliche version of myself, just radio hits of myself. Now, I think it is every guy's dream to just be a professional fisherman. That is the life. All right. These people, because here's also the other thing. I'm currently listening to Cameron Hane's book. And normally I don't listen to books. The only books I've listened to was David Goggin's. I've listened to quite a few books, actually. I'm lying to you. But here's what happens. When I read a book every morning. Every morning I start my day reading, and I've gotten through a lot of books just doing that, a chapter a morning, whatever. And I've really steamrolled through books over a year's period. But I don't like to listen to them because I think in this day and age with podcasts, sometimes I go on autopilot with podcasts where I'm kind of just, it's white noise. I'm digesting probably 70% of it. I'm definitely not like, every single sentence is, keeping me locked in. Sometimes with books, you have to really be into the book and like listening. And sometimes I don't do that. I'll realize I haven't been listening for like 30 seconds if I'm working or I'm doing something and I just have it on. So I like to just, if I really want to read a book, I'll get the book and just read it in the morning, a chapter. Did that with Jordan Peterson's book where I got the audio book and I was like, I need to read this book. So I bought the book. I listened to David Goggin's book, which was great, but I also wanted to read it too. I almost think that's the best way to consume a book is to listen to it and then read it or read it and then listen to it. And then you just watch David Goggin's videos on YouTube and feel like shit about yourself. Okay. David Goggins is pretty much our generation's version. Remember that guy that used to tell people to get off the couch to go to college? He would just come on screen and be like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Why are you being a loser? Act today at DeVry Institute or whatever that school was. Remember, he'd be like, you're still sitting there on the fucking couch, bitch. Like he would just talk to you like that. This guy, he didn't curse, but that was the gist. He's like, what are you waiting for? Stop being a loser. And then he'd just be like, your parents don't love you. Bye. That's what David Goggins does. He just motivates you and he goes, get up, bitch. The demons are coming. And then it works too, because you'll just watch like a David Goggins motivational video and then just get kicked out of Planet Fitness for doing like karate in the squat rack. Like, it's not my fault. It's David Goggins. All right. What'd you think was going to happen? This is on you. You're responsible for this because you saw me watching this video, standing in front of the squat rack, facing off with it, and you didn't stop me. Okay. This is the administration. This is the manager's fault of this Planet Fitness. Never actually worked out at a Planet Fitness because I respect my body. Okay. I end up working out in a Planet Fitness. You fucking put me down, hit me with a fucking blow dart to my neck. Just know I'm done. Aren't Planet Fitnesses the ones they have don't they have tanning beds there? Can't you, isn't their monthly membership something like $3.99 a month and you get your nails done there too? Isn't it like $1.99 a month to work out at Planet Fitness? That's the first red flag. I'm like, this 2-pound weight doesn't even cost $1.99 and you're charging people monthly for that? Hey, and what did Prince design your guys' gym out here with the purple workout equipment? Who saw Planet Fitness and they were like, let's make this all purple? Was it an older black lady at a Southern church? She's like, child, I want this purple. Everything in here purple, baby. Those are the coolest ladies in the world. Okay, listen, there's two things that there's nothing cooler than. It's an old black lady and an old black man. Okay, there's nothing cooler. You'll never, ever, ever, ever say anything as casual and cool as them because they can just say anything. I had one of the worst bombs of my life, and I talked about it on this podcast where I got booked for a corporate event. And when I knew this set was going so terrible is when this older black lady went, no, child. She called me child, and my soul went and just shattered into 1,000 pieces of sad dust. Okay. But you never say anything cooler. There's I remember one time I think about this guy once every 3 years. Okay. This guy I met when I was like 12 years old. All right. It was at a grocery store and he comes scatting around and he's just walking up and he's going, yeah, all right, man. How you doing, young fella? And, when someone that cool approaches you, you panic. It's like a hot girl. You're just like, hey, yeah, man. And he starts talking to me. He's got a little paperboy hat on. He's got a nice sweater vest thing going on. And he goes, now let me ask you something, young man. How old do you think I am? And then I go, I don't know, 43. I knew he was a little bit older. And he goes, shit, I'm 72, baby. And he starts dancing in the aisle and then just disappears out of my life forever. And my sister was there and we were like, dude, what just happened? And it was the coolest flex I've ever seen. Okay. That's the kind of people that will tell you about life. Okay. Anyway, what was the point of all that? We talked about David Goggins. We're going to reel this in. Cam Hane's. I've been listening to Cam Hane's book. Great book. And here is why I'm saying I'm listening to it. Because someone mentioned that you listen to it is great because it's Cam Hane's actually narrating it. When it's not the author narrating it, fuck out of my face. Okay? I don't want to hear someone in this voice. This is asking me to go to sleep. And I think that's technically why I don't like listening to audiobooks is because they go chapter 29. And then they just start, it was a cold day. No, I want to hear David Goggins be like, it was a cold day, motherfucker. Okay. And I was on the water and I was saying, don't be a bitch. And my legs turned into stumps, I want to hear it. But Cameron Hanes' book is amazing. It's great. But you also, I realize I hunt whitetail. Okay. And when I say I hunt whitetail, I've done it for 2 seasons. All right. It's a great time. It's not that strenuous. I want to get into elk hunting and these other, bigger games. But the way that he is describing elk hunting, I'm like, that doesn't sound leisure at all. And the whole point I'm making, the whole reason I started this rabbit hole, elk hunt, hunting versus fishing. These two things get grouped in a lot. Okay. But I feel like they're worlds apart. Giggity. Hunting and fishing, it makes sense why they're grouped together, and maybe it's different levels. Cause that's what I'm realizing is you go bird hunt, you go to like do a quail hunt. There's a spectrum of how hard hunting is. Just like there's a spectrum of how hard fishing is, where you're, going out deep sea fishing, crabbing, dude. These people crabbing out here in the ocean. I've thought about it. If I could go back and I could have like 2 seasons of being like the deadliest catch, I'd love to do that. Okay. But you also watch that show and that seems like a miserable experience. Probably good for you. Okay. It probably would make everything else. There would be no shower better than after getting off of a deadliest catch boat after crabbing for a season. Okay. You would just appreciate a nice warm bed that isn't moving around, cause I even spend one day on a boat and I'm swaying at night in bed. You ever have that when you were a little kid? You go like playing the beach and you're swimming in the ocean all day on a boogie board. And then you get in bed that night and you're still moving with the ocean. Shit's crazy, son. But there is a spectrum, but the point I'm making is elk hunting. This dude, Cameron Hanes, is literally training on the off season. This dude is running marathons daily. He is the epitome of just working hard. It is crazy how much this dude runs and works out. He has a regular job. He's doing all this badass shit, and just to be like, you could do it too. It's a pretty noble stance to just be like, I could quit my 9-to-5 and just do all this stuff. As a sponsored, he's like considered the greatest elk hunter, but he's like, I'm going to keep my 9-to-5 just to fuck with these haters and let them know you can do this too, bitch. Because that's also the thing is you see a lot of people, whenever you're doing something that's cool, they try to break it down, or they say, oh, must be nice, must be lucky. Oh, blah, blah, blah. I didn't get that lucky. I have this, I have that. And they're like, I got to work this. But no, bitch, everybody has to do shit. Everybody has to work a shitty job at some point just to do their thing that they want to do in the afternoon. Okay. Right now I'm catching baby bass. Okay. I'm catching bass the size of things you wouldn't even want to send in a DM. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the point of that was. Anyway, catching small fish is what I'm saying. But it makes me realize that the best job that you could ever have would be a sponsored bass fisherman. Okay. Because catching bass is so much fun. Okay. I be catching them and just throwing them back. I don't really care. I'm in it for the love of the game, baby. In it for the love of the game. Now I catch some trout. I'm going to be keeping them, and I'm going to be slitting them up and putting some garlic, some butter, some lemon. I'll be grilling it over an open fire. Man stuff. Okay. But that must be the greatest job, right? Like if you think about it, being a professional fisherman must be the greatest job, because it's something that people do. Like most days on the lake are people's best days ever. Like, can you imagine doing that every day? And I'm sure there's a point where it turns into a job. But at the end of the day, you're out there in nature, you're catching fish, you're getting paid to do it. Like, how dope would that be? That might be a luckier job than being a comedian. Okay. Because being a comedian is such an insanely rewarding job. Like, it is such a dope job when it goes well. Sometimes I'm still in the trenches, baby. I'm still out here fighting for my fucking life. All right. Some nights it's dog shit. Some nights it's you spend 4 or 5 hours driving around trying to do spots. No one's paying attention, and you're just sharpening the blade. Happened last night. Did a couple spots, and it was just no one paying attention. You're there for hours, for 4 or 5 minutes on stage, and it's just, this did nothing, but hey, you got to do it. You got to show up and sharpen the blade. But I realized with how fun fishing is and how great it is, I get how upset those people got at that fishing derby when the guys put weights in fish. We got weights in fish. Okay. Those people were making hundreds of thousands of dollars, close to $1 million if you spread out their winnings over, however long that was. All right. That was the most insane thing I've ever seen. If you don't know, go watch that video. It's amazing. We got weights and fish. You just put that guys cheat at fishing derby with weights. That prize was like in the 100,000s. These guys had sponsors, they had boats, they had everything. And it was crazy. But I think about that job would just be amazing to be a professional fisherman. I would do it. I think I would do it. If I got sponsors as a fisherman, that would be so dope. All right. I would just live out my days making YouTube videos and fishing. Okay. Especially like with a boat, your boy wants a boat. That's what's next. I'm gonna get a kayak. All right. Because I don't have boat money. Boats are not cheap, especially if you want a little bass boat. No, they're not cheap. No, sir. Okay. Shit's crazy. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, crazy thing happened this weekend. My girl and I would go out and we're celebrating 2 years in Texas, which is a dope achievement. I don't know. We survived. Okay. It's not like the Comanches are still running around taking people out, but we survived it. We did it. We made it through 2 years in Texas. Challenging. Yeah. I'm someone who likes to reflect. I like to look back at pictures, and I like to do this with my journal also, where I'll look back a year, I'll look back 2 years and reflect on where my mindset was, what we were doing. And it's like a nice barometer to see where you're at, where you were, and progress you've made, and just kind of like a reflection of kind of what went down. And also, I'll be honest with you, I've been saying I wanted to get off social media for a while now. I've been saying it. I even looked at my journals before and I was like, I'm going to go off social media. And I finally did it. All right. Your boy has been clean from Instagram for over a week. I think I'm going. I think I started last Monday. Technically that's Sunday. Last Sunday, I got off Instagram, deleted off my phone. Since I still post and like with podcasts, I'll go on the computer and just upload everything. And still do the DMs, but that's just for like shows and things like that. But as far as being on Instagram and scrolling on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, I'm off all of them. Okay. And I got to be real with y'all. Best thing I've done for my life. Okay. It makes me connect with people on text messaging. It makes me stay in the moment, stay present. And it's a great thing for me. It's worked out well. And I think I'm sticking with this. Because even instantly, I didn't miss Instagram. I was catching myself doing these weird little scroll things where I was like, oh, why am I opening my phone and just trying to open something? Like I don't even, like you realize how much muscle memory and things are just, tethered into why we do things. But anyway, we're celebrating 2 years of being in Texas. And we're going to go to one of our favorite restaurants. We go out to Wimberley. Okay, listen, a lot of whites out there in Wimberley, all right? This is the safe haven for wacky whites out there. Wimberley looks like their biggest export is finger painting. Okay, that's a good place where you just see a lot of wind chimes and a lot of suntan lotion, I feel they invest in. A lot of cargo shorts. A lot of just deflated guys with wacky wives. Okay. That's what I saw. A lot of money out there. Okay. It's definitely like a wacky, rich white retreat area. It was fun. Okay. I was a little boring because I was like, oh, this is not my world at all. You go into a store and it was like $70 for a t-shirt. And I was like, I went to this coffee shop and this girl said the scones were amazing. So I had one. Pretty sure fucked my stomach up. Okay. I also got a little cup of espresso. Listen, your boy has been deep in Sopranos right now, watching it, loving it. And I get this espresso because I'm like, I'm going to be Tony Soprano and drink this espresso outside of this coffee shop. And I'm picturing like the little cup. No, they give me a disposable cup with just the most disgusting tasting little espresso. It was a shot of espresso and it just fucked my stomach up. Okay. It just made it feel weird and it wasn't great. So all that is foreshadowing because then we go to this other place. There's Waterhole Park. That was cool. I think it was Waterhole Park. Anyway, we decided to go to like our favorite restaurant out here, which is Hayes City Store. Great restaurant, great outdoor vibe. They usually have live music playing. So we were, going to go over there. We had reservations. I got to be honest with y'all. We, with reservations, almost waited 2 hours to get our seat. People were pissed. There was Karens yelling at the host like they had anything to do with it. But like everybody in this like nice green patio area where their live music is, they aren't leaving. So people are going there for like 3 to 4 hours, just staying at the table. So they're not turning over any tables. It was kind of annoying, but whatever. We're starving. We get our table. We sit down. We start eating. I immediately, boom, get us some chips and salsa. We were hungry, weary travelers. 2 years here. I'm a local now. Get some wings as an appetizer. I'll be honest with you. Wings tasted a little weird. Wasn't fucking with it. My girl got a margarita. Boom, they brought in a wrong margarita. Brought the right margarita. My girl's double fisting it with margaritas. It's going to be a fun night. Okay. We start getting our burgers. I got this thing called a blue cheese burger. Didn't taste that good. I'll be honest with you. Something was off with it. All right. I get some barbecue sauce to dip it in because I'm a cowboy like that. And I finish this and I'll be honest with y'all. This is where this story is going. I'm eating this and all of a sudden, and I need to be honest with you. I need you guys to know that we're family at this point. Okay. I get the weirdest stomach pain. Like I'm going to shit myself in this restaurant. Okay. I get attacked by this hot demon in my stomach where I'm like, oh, that felt like I'm going to take a shit in public. Okay. Which is something that's a huge no-no for me. I can't even tell you the last time I took a shit in a public restroom. Okay. My body is locked in. Okay. It knows our routines. It knows what we do and when we do it. And a nighttime shit in public, not this guy. Okay. Things have, we got some invaders in if we're thinking about taking a shit in public. And I mean, it came on so aggressively and I sat there and I looked at my girl and she looks at me as if my spider sense went off and I was like, phew. And she was like, what's wrong? And I was like, for the sake of our marriage, I'm not going to tell you. And I was like, she goes, looks at me weird. And I go, I feel like I got to take shit. And she just laughs and she was like, okay, well, whatever. And then it passed. A moment later, it was gone. I was like, oh, sweet. We made it through. It was just a small demon passing through, pick someone else to do an exorcism on, We finish our food. I end up taking almost like half my entire meal, half the chicken wings, the burger, the fries, everything. I was like, I'm not even I filled up on on chips, but I still wasn't feeling like great, but I was, it passed. Here's the thing about this restaurant. To get to it, it's about 15 minutes from our house. And to get to it, if you know the area, it's going from Driftwood to where I'm at. It's a 2-lane highway. There's nowhere to pull off the road. It's only grass on each side. If you break down there, you're screwed. Like you literally have to go into the dirt, into this grass and everything. Like it's not meant to stop. We start driving and there's nowhere to turn around. We start driving. We get like 3 minutes into the drive and have like 12 minutes left to get home. All of a sudden, that demon that I told you about a little bit ago goes, hello, motherfucker, in my stomach. And I literally, it's not as funny now when you have no plan B. I can't go to a public restroom and exercise this demon. Okay. I'm driving and I have nowhere to turn around. I can't stop. And I'm like, I just have to try to make it home. There's no stops on the way. There's no gas station. There's nothing. It's literally just a dark, windy road. I'm driving and I tell my girl, I go, hey, I might need an exorcism on myself because this demon is back. And she was like, oh no, how can I help you? I'm like, well, if you have a shitter on you, I'll take one of those. She didn't have one. So it's only getting worse. Here's the thing is it hit me at the restaurant with the Terminator, I'll be back. I didn't know that. I thought I didn't speak the same language. I thought it said, bye, I'll see you eventually. Driving on this way, I'm getting to like 9 minutes left home. It's coming as if I'm getting, like I'm pregnant and my contractions are, I'm having the Braxton Hicks. Okay. It's starting to get real and it's like getting more and more aggressive. And I'm starting to panic because it's setting in. The reality is setting in. I'm someone who once shit themselves as a kid. Okay. At Hoover Dam. Okay. I shit myself in a bathroom. I made it to the stall. They were all taken and it just happened. Okay. And I know that moment. I've experienced it where you just go, holy shit, this is actually going to happen. I'm going to shit myself. Okay. And I'm driving and I'm going through these mental meditations where I'm like, Evan, you're not going to do that. It's all in your mind. You can't hold this. Like, it's not going to happen. And then the demon will be like, hi. It would just be there. And I'm driving and my stomach's starting to hurt really bad. And I'm feeling this pressure and it's like, let me out, motherfucker. And I'm driving and I'm white knuckling it. Okay. And it's getting to the point where like, I'm literally squirming in my seat and there's a realization where I go, I might shit myself in front of my wife. Okay. Which, listen, she's a sweetheart of a human. She even said, she's like, I will help you clean it up. I don't give a shit. No pun intended. But I'm like, I can't. This is not going to be good. I don't want to do this right now. It gets to the point I'm like 5 minutes away and I'm literally screaming. I had to turn the radio off. I'm just like, I can't. And then she was like talking. I'm like, I can't even listen to you right now. Cause she'd be like, is there anything? And I'd be like, I can't even talk. Cause talking would make me flex my stomach. You know, if you know how to speak properly, my stomach would flex and I'd be like, it's putting pressure. And it got to the point, and this is where it's fucked up. I was slapping myself in the face at the 3-minute mark because for some reason, the pain and the adrenaline, the fight or flight would put me in a state where it would kind of go away for a second. And that's what I was doing. And I was hitting myself and I was like, dude, this is like before a competition, now you feel like you have to take a shit. But then if you like, when you're about to actually do it, it goes away. That's what I was trying to do is hack my own system to not have to shit myself. And I made it home. My wife opened the garage from her phone, even before we got there, like a block away, so I could just zoom in. I ran past my dog, and my dog thinks we're playing, is trying to trip me and just like running after me into the bathroom. I'm like, you don't want to be here for this. And we made it, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. It was a wild time. And I think about how bad that would have been. Okay. Because you never want to shit yourself in front of your wife. That changes things, okay? And let me tell you something. You ever smell shit out of water? It doesn't smell the same, okay? And that's what is going through my head. And I'm like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to ruin our relationship like this. I thank David Goggins. I thank Cameron Hanes for the mental fortitude to push through that moment, okay? But ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of this podcast, okay? I just want you to know I love you. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We're going to have a guest next week. Excited for that. And remember, no matter what, I love you.